Well, hey everyone, namaste, Master Lady Kira Ra here, and welcome to the March Self-Ascension Predictions and Ascended Numerology. This month I'm coming to you via this live premiere filmed in Riga, Latvia. And while I have been here in Riga, one of the things that I've really been aware of is the depth and the beauty of our oneness. And what a beautiful place to bring this information to you today as we enter into this March moment. One of the things about March that's important to remember is that March is rebalancing humanity. And this is really important, that in this rebalancing of humanity, we are also in the energy of choice. And to really dive deep into the choices that are before you, the choices that you are making, the obvious choices that humanity has in front of it right now. As you have been walking through this moment, as you have been living 2025, the one thing that we have known is that 2024 was not going to complete until we hit the equinox. Now, let's talk about March because there's a lot happening. First of all, pre-phase Mercury Retrograde just began. March 1, here we are. And we're going to be in this flow, we're going to be in this pre-phase until we go through on Friday the 14th, this incredible total lunar eclipse. And in that total lunar eclipse on March 14, Mercury Retrograde will begin. Now imagine that as the moon, as the divine feminine eclipse itself, the return, the retrograde, the rebalancing begins. So imagine if everything has been just askew. Imagine that if the balance has not been harmonic. Imagine what happens when humanity steps into this moment. Now, this is going to begin on the 14th, and then it's going to very rapidly build until we arrive at the equinox on the 20th. And when we arrive at the equinox on the 20th, this equanimity, this beauty of the divine feminine and the benevolent masculine is going to come together. And this is that rebalancing. This is more than just the rebalancing of, say, the hemispheres of the brain or any of that. This is the rebalancing of humanity itself. We are at a moment of birth. And so when we birth, when anything is birthing, is it not a moment to be tender? Is it not a moment to pay attention? Is it not a moment to say, thank you, I love you? To be in the humility and the depth of all that has ever been. And I want you to really breathe that in because the March predictions really tell us to watch our balance and watch equanimity. Watch the masculine and the feminine. Watch trust and love. And if you have not really touched base with my recent episode of Expanding Consciousness right here at this YouTube channel, Official Sri IAmKira, I invite you to really go pay attention to trust, love, and consciousness because that's part of the balance that's happening as well. So breathing that in and being aware of the profound choices that humanity is making. Remember the heavy influence of this eclipse, of this full lunar eclipse, of this total lunar eclipse, is this eclipse of the feminine. It is this opening up. It is this creation that is saying, who am I and how are we together? And as we move into this retrograde period, this is the rebalancing retrograde. So that retrograde is going to carry us all the way through April, but it's starting right now in the energy of choice. And by April, it'll move into the energy of divine awareness. Now, what happens with all of this? Well, let's dive into the Ascended Numerology because it's really important to pay attention to what's happening with the chart. And if you gaze at the chart, you're going to see that this month, March is a 7. It is a prime. And what's so powerful is that March 2025 is not only the 7 prime, it's a 7 prime plus the infinite. If you gaze at the chart, don't gaze at the body right now, but if you're just gazing at the wheel, you can see that lifeline between the 12 and the 6. Well, this lifeline is really going to matter because we're very heavy in the energies that take us from the mental to the physical, from that 6, 9, 12, with a big anchor point being at the 12. So the physical is going to keep trying to transcend itself. And this is really important to pay attention to. If you gaze at the dates this month, our Mercury retrograde March 1 begins right there, saying, look at your physical life. Pay attention. What's happening in your life right now? How is your body responding? How is your health? How is where you're living? How is everything that has an aspect of the physical affecting you? Then if you look over at the body, you notice that same 12 is your star consciousness. So what is star consciousness? Star consciousness is the higher aspect of the self brought in through that which is beyond the third eye. Remember that the third eye, which sits between the eyebrows, is very much about the extraordinary vision of this world, yet our star consciousness lifts us above. It offers us that broader view, that greater perspective, the ability to see beyond ourselves. And as we dive through this, you look at that full blood moon lunar eclipse coming in at the 11. Now, when you gaze at the chart, you may think, wow, that's taking us backwards. But the reality is that the 11 is our divine energy. It is that left side divine energy. So through that divine energy, that feminine is rising and coming back into form. And that moves us all the way until we get to March 15, which is the lifeline. And this is amazing that 12, that second 12, right? That ding ding, because we have the March 1 where we have that pre-phase. But then when we actually go direct and we actually go into Mercury again, it's another 12. We cannot escape ourselves this month. And the beauty of that is it's throwing us a lifeline. The mental and the physical are saying, okay, we're going to unify. We're going to come together and we're going to expand. Now, humanity has that choice ahead of it right now, and that's what's happening. And from there, we're going to move through to March 20th, where the chalice will rise at the equinox. And this is rising again as the 7 plus the infinite, the mirror of March itself. These synchronicities, these ways of being are not an accident. This is exactly what it's supposed to be. And when you gaze at the 7, it's all about vision, clarity, vision, action. Clarity, vision, action in the essence of choice. Consider this month. Where is your clarity taking you? What is your vision showing you? Pay attention. Don't be afraid. And then invite yourself into the action that brings you the greatest sense of joy, the greatest sense of understanding. Because at the end of this month, after that chalice rises, which will balance that benevolent masculine and that divine feminine, at the end of this month, what's going to happen is that on the 29th, when that new moon comes in, we are going to have a partial solar eclipse. So the solar eclipse balances this lunar eclipse, and we bring them both together. This is the ultimate marriage, is it not? The sun and the moon unified, the two opening to find a new harmonic balance or a new frequency. Remember that March is rebalancing humanity. And in that, all of the particles, everything that we are or have ever been, is commanding the chalice of your cosmic vision into form. It's a dance, and it's a dance of rebalance, because humanity is in the full motion of rebalance. I cannot stress that enough. That which has been out of balance is balancing, and that is often very much like a pendulum, is it not? When it has swung one direction, in order to get it rebalanced, it often swings completely in the other direction. So as this pendulum is swinging, how do we find the harmony? How do we find the balance? How do we bring it together? I invite a hand to your heart right now. I really do. Just bringing a hand to your heart. I invite you to call forward a deep, beautiful, nourishing Ave Sa breath. I mean, just really bring that in. Breathing in Ave, exhaling. And as you do that, know that what makes this so powerfully miraculous is that both the right side and the left side of our informed experience are supporting the flow. Now consider that. Consider that everything that has ever been, everything that has brought you to this moment, all of the physical experiences, the emotional experiences, the mental experiences, and your spiritual experiences are really spinning. And this is really important to not forget, that the perfect balance of loving radiation is extending from the divine center of the universe. Why? Because it's yours to receive right now. But it does demand paying attention. It demands the opportunity to really open your eyes to see beyond that which seeks to stop you. Remember that fear plus anger will always equal hate. And so when those arise, invite them to transcend. Invite the balance. Invite the perfect balance of this loving radiation. Invite the harmony of the divine and the manifest as one. To not see them as separate. To remember that indeed we are one. And it's through that informed awareness that the gift of your universal presence will rise. This is truly a moment to celebrate, as I am celebrating here in this very cold, chilly area. But as we celebrate, it is valuable to note that due to the extraordinarily heavy influence of star consciousness, remember about an inch above the third eye, throughout March, the ever-refining spiral of creation is rapidly unfolding. And this momentum is either yours to command or it will command you. So all of that is part of the cycle that we are gazing at as humanity rebalances and the chalice of eternal life arrives once more for us to remember through the gift of the yoga of self-ascension. Well, what is that? It's a process that offers humanity the blessing of the arrival of the chalice. Imagine this chalice as the divine masculine and feminine coming together. This is the unified field of the equinox, and with all of my heart, I am extremely honored and humbled that once again, all of the elders, those that do not interface, are coming from the Amazon, they are coming from the jungles, they are coming from the mountains, and they are all coming together to celebrate this extraordinary moment. And I invite you to join us as well, if you can. Get to Tosa Blue Mountain, come down to Ecuador, give yourself the gift of this extraordinary moment. Because as we come together, the prime energy of the seven is filled with service. And that service begins by inviting yourself to live your best life, to know that in the honoring of the self, all else opens. To say yes to your heart is an ignition heard everywhere. You ever wonder if you can make a difference? Well, that's how. You make a difference by igniting your heart. You make a difference by stepping into rebalancing. Because remember, this 7, this very powerful 7, and the 12 that are ringing all month long, but the 7 itself is often called toward, it brings us toward an egocentricity, and the gift is to transcend that, to let go of the what's in it for me, and perhaps look at how can I serve the we. And in the greatest essence of the we, you discover the divine rebalance. This is the moment at hand, to be rebalanced, to be in the divine essence of all that has ever been. The aspects of the prime awareness are here right now. And I invite you this month to perhaps consider this simple mantra that anytime this month when things seem overwhelming, anytime that pendulum is swinging too wildly, anytime that you're concerned, why not bring a hand to your heart and invite simply, in the one there is all, and in the all there is one. To really feel that, to remember, maybe pick up one little seed, and to remember in that one seed, and that one little seed are all of the building blocks of life. To perhaps plant a seed and remember as you watch it grow that from the smallest inspiration, from the smallest glimmer of hope, everything is possible. Because in the one there is all, and in the all there is one. Now remember, your body this month is going to be involved in balance, balance, balance. And so whatever has been out of balance in your body physically or in any other way, it's going to go beyond the typical balancing energy. What's going to happen is that the March moment, specifically March 2025, is about the balance of our magic with our form, the balance of the who that I am with this body, and feeling good about that. The chakra, everything is birthing, right? This is the journey of the upper chakras, and it is that essence of balance that is the center of creation. This lifeline, the lifeline that has come forward this month with the 12 and the 6, is the lifeline of the second chakra. And that is the chakra of birthing. And this birth has been gestating and is really ready to come into form. And so why not go speak with your body, love your body, invite your beautiful body to be your partner on this journey rather than an adversary. And if there is something you are unable to do because your body is not cooperating or offering you the flexibility or the flow that you would enjoy, then let your body know that you're here, that you love it, and that you are listening. Let it have its voice. And then as the wise adult, as the wise parent that you are, show it the love and affection you would as any child at their birth. Really breathe that in. I invite you to go walk in the fresh air as I am right now. And as you walk in the fresh air, breathe consciously. And as you breathe in, fill your lungs with greater peace. Fill your lungs with greater love, and fill your lungs with greater joy. You may want to write down your visions this month because they are often a direct reflection of your conscious awareness, and conscious awareness is building. The upper area of the head is inviting. And if your body feels heavy or congested, just bring it all upward and invite your vision to reveal that which may be trying to weigh you down. I love you. You are ready. The chalice is birthing. The equinox is upon us. And with a deep bow and respect for all that you are and your unique journey of the yoga of self-ascension, I am Master Lady Kira Ra. I invite you to visit MasterLadyKiraRa.com and of course TosaBlueMountain.com. And I look forward to being with you again soon. Many blessings and namaste.